अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। In this session, let us know more about what our ancestors have thought about the motion. Nyaya Vaisheshika school has considered karma or the motion as a change of place in a particle. It is incapable of producing another motion, but the impact or the other force which produces the first motion, through that motion a samskara or persistent tendency to motion causes continued motion in a straight line, that is in the direction of the first motion. Niyata dikriya prabandha hetuhu yad digabhimukhena kriyavego janyate tad digabhimukhatayaiva kriya santanasya hetuhu. This is Nyaya Kandali of Sridhara. He says, Vaisheshikas accept one samskara, momentum, till the cessation of the motion. Udyotakara and other followers of Nyaya school suppose a series of samskaras, each generating the one that succeeds it. Samskarena uttarottara karma santano jayate. Swajanmottara sanyogena karmani nashte samskarena karmantara jananat ekayeva samskaraha karma santana janakaha natu karma santanavat samskara santanopi abhyupagantum uchitaha. This is saying by Shankara Mishra. The Nyaya view is suitable to explain acceleration, which it logically implies. The force of samskara diminishes by doing work against a counteracting force. The moving body comes to rest when the samskara is entirely destroyed in this way. Samskaro yavat patanam anuvartate. Yatha yatha chasya shaktihi कार्यकरणात् क्षीयते तथा तथा तरतमादि भेद भिन्नम उपजायते. Vega corresponds to inertia in some aspects and momentum in others. This is the nearest approach to Newton's first law of motion, as we all studied in our schools. A body will continue to be in the state of rest or in motion unless it is disturbed by an external force. So here is in the first figure 1, an object at rest will remain at rest unless acted on by an unbalanced force. An object in motion, that is here in picture 3, the ball is moving, will continue with constant speed and in the same direction unless acted by an unbalanced force. So, this is what our ancestors has said about this. Causes of pressure. Pressure is called as nodana and impact is called as abhigata. Pressure is produced by contact acting in conjunction with a vega, impressed motion. Such as elasticity, gravity, fluidity, or volition. The vega of the wind produces pressure, nodana, on the grass. This is our daily experience. the current of water on the reed, bowstring on an arrow, gravity with contact, etc. So impact produced by contact with a body possessing vega, where the contact is instantly followed by disjunction. If the contact continues, the result is pressure nodana. Tatra nodana gurutva dravatva vega prayatnat samasta vyastat अपेक्षमानः यः संयोगः विशेषः नोदनम् अभिवेगहेतुः एकस्य कर्मणः कारणं तस्मात् चतुर्षु अपि महाभूतेषु कर्म भवति. So it is said that tatra nodana is pressure, gurutva is gravity, संयोग विशेषः अविभाग हेतुः एकस्य कर्मणः कारणम्. So it is the cause of one motion. It is expressly noted that four elements, earth, water, air and fire, are all subject to the force of pressure and impact. So tasmat chaturshu api mahabhuteshu karma bhavati. Chaturshu mahabhuteshu means four great elements. Four elements that are earth, water, air and fire are all subject to the forces of pressure and impact. Pressure and impact, that is nodana and abhigata, may be of different degrees. So also the vega. So illustration for combination of forces is given. Pressure acting currently with impressed motion or vega, as when moving hand throws a ball. A bowstring impelling the arrow, a potter's wheel impelled by the rod. Similarly, in the case of bowstring impelling the arrow, results in a samskara, persistent tendency to motion, impressed motion or momentum, but the subsequent motions are produced by the pressure acting concurrently with the samskara, that is impressed motion. Tasmat samskarat nodana sahayat tavat karmani bhavanti. Yavat ishujya vibhagaha iti prashastapadaha. As we said, ishujya vibhagaha. That is when a bowstring impels an arrow. A persistent tendency to motion or momentum, but the subsequent motions are produced by the pressure acting currently with the samskaras or the vega, says Sridhara in his Nyayakandali. Impact or abhighata with impressed motion samskara, as when the mortar thrown by the hand rebounds after striking the vessel. Samskara apekshat abhighatat musale utpatana karma. Prashastapada Bhashya says. Say this is the third one is pressure nodana and impact acting currently with impact abhighata, as when the mud sinks when we strike against the ground with feet. Here, if the feet be not in contact with the mud but only with the surrounding ground, there is transmitted force, that is samyukta samyoga, as we say. Gravity currently with samskara or persistent tendency, as in the case of a falling body as we know that all the falling bodies, they will fall on earth, and we know that it is due to gravity. Adyam karma gurutvat bhavati. So the first motion is from gravity. Tena karmana samskaraha kriyate tadanantaram अंतर कर्माणि गुरुत्व संस्काराभ्यां ज्ञायते द्वयोरपि प्रत्येकम् अन्यत्र सामर्थ्यावधारणात्. He says this is said in Nyaya Kandali of Sridhara. He explains thus: the weight of the stone combines with the vega of the stone to produce motion in the mud. This is by Prashastapada. So, Adya Karma Gurutvat Bhavati. That is the falling of the stone towards the earth is from Gurutva Karshana or the gravity. And Tadanantaram, then it combines with Vega of the stone to produce motion in the mud. This explanation is given by Prashastapada. Udyotakara, the commentator of Nyaya Bhashya, states that a heavier body falls to the ground with greater vega, that is, with a greater velocity than that is lighter. Udyotakara also holds, and Sridhara agrees with him, that the gravity of a body, the gurutva of a body as a whole, composed of particles, avayavaha, is not the same as the sum of the gravities of particles. There is a difference in amount which is, however, so small as to be impersistible. The concept of mass in new mechanics of Learnus may lend some countenance to this curious metaphysical speculation, say Sridhara's Gunagrantha in Gurutva Nirupanam. So volition acting concurrently, the next is with gravity, as in lifting up the hand. This is accompanied by transmission when an object, that is, a ball, is lifted by the hand. Samskara, momentum, with or without pressure or impact, nodana or abhighata, may be transmitted, says Sridhara. So composition of gravity with vega, that is momentum. What happens when gravity combines with momentum? When a body is let go and falls to the ground, the force acting on it is gravity, as we all know and as we all studied. The astronomers ascribe this to the attraction of the earth. Motion is produced in the first instance by the gravitational force alone, and this leads to a samskara, impressed motion or momentum, in the same direction. But the force of gravity continues to operate, so that in the moments following the first, the motion is due to gravity as well as samskara. Here, the motion is due to gravity, and as well as it is due to the samskara or the motion. The resultant motion is one, but both the causes must be conceived as contributing resultant. The reason for supposing the combined action is that both gravity and impressed motion or momentum are seen elsewhere to produce motion separately. In the case of a falling body, there is the composition of the two, gravity and vega or momentum, acting in the same direction. Here, a good foundation is laid for the explanation of the accelerated motion of falling bodies, but Galileo's discovery was not anticipated, as Galileo's observation and measurements of motion were wanting. Adyam karma gurutvat bhavati, tena karmana samskaraha kriyate, tadanantaram uttara karmani gurutva samskarabhyam jayante, dvayorapi pratyekam anyatya samarthyavadharanat. This is said by Sridhara in his Nyaya Kandali. And motion of a particle in the case of composition of forces. Any number of motions or vegas may be impressed on a particle, but so long as they are in a uniform direction, the resultant motion is in a straight line and may be conceived as one. This is said by Prashastapada. That is, Dvitiya Kalpana Vaiyarthyam. It is only when we come to Gamana, that is the curvilinear motion, and its causes, that question of composition assumes a real significance. So, if pressure or impact produces motion in an opposite direction to the vega already impressed on the body, the original direction would be changed, as is seen in the case of rebounding after impact, that is Utpatana Abhighata. The mortar rebounding after striking the pestle is a typical instance of such change of direction in vega or motion. The impressed force or abhighata produces a changed motion in a different direction. One view is that the original momentum is destroyed before a new motion and a new vega are produced by the impact. Others hold that the impact does not destroy the original momentum, but conjointly with it produces the changed motion, and through such motion, a changed momentum will be in a new direction, they say. So, three Vaisheshika Sutras that correspond to the three laws of Newton. Vegaha nimitta visheshat karmano jayate. Change of motion is due to impressed force. The law stated that an object at rest tends to stay at rest, and an object in motion tends to stay in motion with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Second law, Vega nimittapekshat karmanaha jayate niyata dikriya prabandha hetuku. Change of motion is proportional to the impressed force and is in the direction of the force. Third law, Vegaha Sanyoga Vishesha Virodhi. Action and reaction are equal and opposite. So these Vaisheshika Sutras were proposed 1800 years prior to Newton's three laws of motion. So what our ancestors have thought about gamana, that is the curvilinear motion. This is due to the contact of two bodies moving in opposite direction with a like or equal vega. For example, two currents of air or water meeting from opposite direction. The change of direction is seen in the fact that water which flows downwards or air which moves obliquely may receive an upward motion as the result of such collision. So vibratory motion, kampana and spandana, we have dealt it in the acoustics, that is when we talked about sound. So next is rotatory motion, that is Brahmana. Each particle of the rotating body, example the potter's wheel, has at any given instant a motion in a definite direction. The rotatory motion of the body results from the separate motions of the particles and their persistent samskaras, that is tendencies, joined with the fact of the rigid conjunctions of the particle. When the rod strikes one part of the wheel, the motion in the part struck is in the first instant produced by impact abhighata, while the other parts move through the transmission of force due to the rigid cohesion of parts. The subsequent motions in the part struck are due to continued pressure, that is nodana, and persistent samskara tendency set up by the first motion, while the subsequent motion in the other parts are explained by their own persistent tendencies and the transmission due to rigid cohesion. When the rod is disjoined from the wheel, the rotatory motion continues, being due merely to the persistent tendencies in the constituent parts and the resultant persistent tendency in the whole. So next, Jains have also dealt with this motion. They have 6 eternal substances in Jainism, that is Jiva and Ajiva. And Dravya is divided into Jiva and Ajiva: space, matter, medium of motion, medium of rest, and Kala. So, about the medium of motion, they call it as dharma. Jainism considers the medium of motion a non-living substance. Its primary function is to help in the movement of soul and matter. It possesses the following qualities: helps in the movement of soul and matter, does not possess senses, color, or body, does not have a consciousness or knowledge, exists in the entire universe or lokas. Example: water provides medium for fish to move. Jainism considers the medium of rest or adharma a non-living substance. Its primary function is to help to rest the movement of soul and matter. It possesses the following qualities: helps to rest soul and matter, does not possess senses, color, or body, does not have consciousness or knowledge, exists in the entire universe lokas. Example: people rest in the shade of a tree. That is, it has adharma. They call it as adharma. Its primary function is to rest the movement of the soul and matter. Now let us take the motion in fluids and what our ancestors have thought about it and their thought process. They have observed 3 kinds of motion in fluids. One is current motion, Syandana. Second is upward motion, Arohana. And third is capillary motion, Abhisarpana. In the current motion, this is conditioned by fluidity in particles. But Shankara Mishra notes that in downward flow of water, gravity in the fluid particles is the efficient cause. Gurutvat Nimitta Karanat Asamavai Karaneshu. So when the water is enclosed in a vessel, here the fluidity does not produce motion, because in the case of particles, in contact with the enclosing body, there is the resistance, pratibandha of the latter, that is the vessel, which is transmitted to the other particles, and this counteracts the fluidity. The second one is upward motion, arohana, or evaporation. In evaporation, the fluid particles are rarefied and remain in a fine state of suspension. The rarefaction is due to the impulse nodana or abhigata of the heat particles in the sun's rays, and the upward movements is due to their contact with the air under this impulse or impact. Shankara Mishra notes that in boiling, there is a similar upward movement of water particles under the impact of heat rays. Nodano Vayu Samyogat Charohanam Nodana Pidanat Sanyukta Sanyogat, he says. Third is capillary motion, Abhisarpana. The ascent of the sap in the plants from the root to the stem. Abhitaha sarpanam mule nishiktanam apam vrikshe, says Shankara Mishra. and the penetrative diffusion of liquids in porous vessels, the oil or ghee in an earthen jar, and heat particles have a light penetrative power, says Jayanta. This is ascribed to Adrishta as the cause cannot be ascertained. So, some interesting examples of motion, which is that is nature or the final cause, which cannot be explained by us, which is unexplained. The first motion is primordial atoms at the beginning of the creation are attributed to Adrishta. Among movements in masses of matter so caused are noted the motion of the globe of the earth and similar other bodies. Mahabhutanam Bhugolakadinam Prakshobhanam Chalanam, says Prashastapada. Most probably this means earthquakes, tides, etc. Aryabhata and his school would no doubt bring under this head the daily motion of the earth. It is interesting to note that in this connection that Bhaskara refutes the Buddhist hypothesis of the earth falling perpetually in vacuum by arguing that the earth must remain balanced in space as there is nothing outside to attract it. The movement of the needle towards the magnet is another example for Adrishta. Similarly, amber attracts grass, straw, says Shankara Mishra. Involuntary movements of the hand under the influence of hypnotists' incantations are also attributed to Adrishta. So, measurement of motion, units of space and time are given. So, let us take when we go to space and time. Component of velocity. The astronomers measured the motion of a heavenly body in different directions, longitude, right ascension, etc., and calculated separately the components of motion, that is Gatikala, in these directions, and they adopted the device of transferring such component velocities from the body to another in the computation of relative motion. So, this is by Bhaskara in his Siddhanta Shiromani, he says. So, principle of the differential calculus applied to the computation of motion in variable motion. Bhaskaracharya of 12th century AD, in computing what he calls the instantaneous motion, Tatkaliki Gatihi of a planet, compares its successive positions into two successive instants and regards the motion as constant during the interval, which he conceives to be indefinitely small, Sukshmakala. This is equivalent to the determination of the differential of the planet's longitude, and the process bears a strong analogy, to quote the words of Mr. Spottiswoode, the astronomer royal, to the corresponding process in modern mathematical astronomy. So, elsewhere shown that Bhaskara's process was not merely analogous to the Brajendranath Seal in his work, The Positive Science of Ancient Hindus. He quotes that Bhaskara's process was not merely analogous to, but virtually identical with that of the differential calculus, he says. So, relative motion, the phenomenon is noticed among the hallucinations of suns, says Kumarila Bhatta and Shloka Vartika. Astronomers like Aryabhatta and Lalla also believed in daily motion of the earth from west to east, explain the apparent revolution of the starry heavens in the opposite direction by the principle of relative motion. Serial motion is also observed by our ancestors. Several santanas or series of motions are incidentally noticed, that is vibration, wave motion, Vichi Taranga, current motion, Syandana. In, a, in an interesting passage, Charaka notes that three instances of serial motion, namely those of water, sound, and light, Jala Santana, Shabda Santana, and Archit Santana, to which he compares the course of chyle or chyle blood in dhamanis, veins, and other ducts of the body. Dalvana thinks that downward, oblique, and upward currents of chyle are respectively intended by three illustrations. But Chakrapani points that the santana of sound or wave of sound travels in all directions. That and that differences same is the course of true also in light. The differences in speed and not in direction are here meant. In other words, a santana of sound travels more rapidly than that of water and less rapidly than that of light, Archit Santana. And Charaka's meaning is that the metabolic course may complete in a circuit with greater or less speed. Whether the three santanas are viewed as waves or currents is not specified, but the difference between a wave, Vichi, and a current, Syandana, was well known. A current of water consists of particles moving in an uninterrupted series under the action of gravity and fluidity, that is Gurutva and Dravatva, says Shankara Mishra. Wave, Vichi Taranga, on the other hand, is constituted by the transmission of vibratory motion in the water particles, says Jayanta. A ray of light, on the other hand, supposed to imply the rectilinear propagation of indefinitely minute corpuscles in all directions with inconceivable velocity and a sort of conical dispersion, says Udyotakara and Vachaspati in their works. So, by this, we can know that our ancestors were observant, very keen observers of the surroundings, and by observation they studied different kinds of motion, different velocities of motion, from the motion of an atom to the motion of the universe. So this is the greatness of our ancestors that they have given to us. Let us know some more phenomena in the sessions to come. Thank you for patience hearing. Om Tat Sat.